October 1st, 2025 was a big day for NPS subscribers. On the day, the regulator implemented some of the biggest changes to the national pension system. These changes make the retirement product more flexible and powerful than it was ever. But that's not all. In the coming months, there can be even bigger moves. Hello and welcome to ET Money's YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll discuss these changes in detail and explain how they will affect your savings and retirements. But before we begin, do note that these changes are not meant for government employees. So, if you're a private sector worker or self-employed, do watch the video till the end. Now, in the first half of the video, we will discuss changes that the pension regulator has already implemented. After that, we will look at the reforms that we can see in the coming months. Another important thing, we have come across some fake accounts and groups impersonating ET Money on WhatsApp, Twitter, and other social media platforms to mislead people. You can see a few screenshots of these fake groups on your screen right now. If you ever come across any suspicious group or activity, please report it immediately to this email ID. For your safety, we've also added the links of all our official and verified handles in the description below. Okay, let's begin. The biggest change to NPS is the introduction of new schemes. Until now, NPS only had limited scheme options. You could invest in a combination of 4 funds, which include equity, government bonds, corporate bonds, and alternative investment funds. Now, the pension regulator has allowed pension fund management companies to launch new schemes. This means that you will have more than just 4 schemes to invest in. For example, UTI Pension Fund launched the Wealth Builder Fund that will focus on mid-cap companies. DSP Pension Fund has launched a long-term equity fund that will invest up to 100% in equities. Now, this change basically gives the fund manager more room to come up with unique offerings. However, there are 2 conditions that every new scheme must adhere to. First, every scheme must have at least these 2 variants: A, moderate risk, and B, high risk. Fund managers can also offer a low risk variant, but that's optional. The second condition is that each new scheme must be designed for a specific group. For example, schemes could be made for young professionals, or they could be women-centric, or can target self-employed workers like consultants or gig workers such as cab drivers. In fact, HDFC Pension Fund Manager has already introduced a scheme for Zomato's delivery partners in a bid to provide them access to formal retirement benefits. This customization will allow NPS subscribers to choose schemes that fit their income and risk level. Now, to avoid any confusion, the pension regulator has also provided guidelines on how a scheme should be named. So, the funds will have words like growth, wealth builder, pension, payout, etc. These will help subscribers get an idea about the scheme just by looking at its names. In short, NPS is no longer one size fits all product. Investors have enough options to customize it based on their requirements. Okay, let's now take a look at the second big change. Until now, each NPS subscriber had the option to invest in a maximum of 1 scheme per asset class. So, you could opt for 1 equity fund, 1 government fund, 1 corporate fund, and 1 alternate investment fund. This restriction has been removed. Starting October 2025, the subscriber has the option to invest in multiple schemes per asset class. For example, earlier you could only pick 1 equity fund. Now, you could spread your money across 4 to 5 equity schemes. Similarly, you can invest in multiple hybrid schemes based on your requirements. Let's now take a look at the third change, which makes NPS truly a flexible and customizable product. Earlier, NPS had restrictions, especially in equity investments. While you could allocate 100% of your investments to a government scheme, you could only invest up to 75% in equities. The rest had to be allocated to debt funds. This was done to make your investment journey less volatile. In a landmark reform, the regulator has removed these restrictions. Subscribers can now allocate the entire 100% of their capital to equities. Now, this move makes sense from many angles. First, NPS is becoming more like a mutual fund with a lock-in and mandatory annuity, which can make it appeal to more investors. And 2, 100% equity allocation aligns perfectly with the nature of a long-term retirement product. History shows that over a longer time horizon, equities have outperformed major asset classes in India. Now, this feature could make NPS more appealing to young investors who recently joined the workforce. Okay, let's now take a look at the fourth change. This is more of an operational change. Until now, every NPS subscriber had only one PRAN or permanent retirement account number. They served as their unique identity. This PRAN was then linked to the CRA or Central Record Keeping Agency selected at the time of joining. For those who don't know what a CRA is, think of them as the back-end operators of NPS, very similar to how stock market depositories work. Now, just like in equities, your shares are held electronic by NSDL or CDSL and not directly by your broker. In NPS 2, your account and records are maintained by CRAs. Currently, there are 3 CRAs. These include CAMS, Protean eGov Technologies, and KFIN Technologies. Previously, you were limited to choosing only one CRA, which in turn meant you could only have one PRAN. Now, under the new scheme, you can sign up with multiple CRAs and hold multiple PRANs. Your unique identifier will be your PAN. So just by entering your PAN, you should be able to see all your investments. Let's now take a look at the 5th change. With all these changes already in effect starting 1st October 2025, operational costs are expected to rise marginally. Therefore, the fee cap has been revised. The regulator has allowed pension fund managers to charge up to 0.3% of the total assets under management annually, which was earlier capped at around 0.1%. NPS funds are actively managed. At a 0.3% fee, it is still cheaper compared to other investment products. This fee is over and above the custodian charges, CRA charges, and NPS trust charges. Now, the USP of NPS was meant to be low fees, and it continues to be one of the cheapest pension systems in the world. Now, the changes that we looked at till now are all confirmed and already in effect from 1st October 2025. Now, let's take a look at the proposed reforms that are still under discussion. These amendments can further increase the appeal of the NPS. Number 1. Withdrawals. Under the current rules, when NPS subscribers retire, they don't get 100% of their NPS corpus upfront. They can withdraw up to 60% of the corpus as a lump sum, and the remaining 40% must go towards buying an annuity, which is a product that pays a fixed pension for life. Now, the regulator is considering changing these withdrawal limits. It has proposed raising the lump sum withdrawal limit to 80% of the corpus, with the remaining 20% allocated to annuity plans. With this proposed change, subscribers will have more freedom and control over their retirement savings. Also, while annuities provide security, the annuity products available are not attractive in terms of returns, at least not correctly. As far as taxes are concerned, under the current rules, the 60% lump sum is tax-free. The 40% with which you buy an annuity is also not taxed. However, the pension you receive from an annuity is taxable. The proposal has not yet clarified if there would be any change in taxation for the extra 20% that you will be able to withdraw. Okay, let's now take a look at the second proposal. With this change, the pension regulator has addressed the pain point of many subscribers. Currently, an NPS matures when a subscriber turns 60. Suppose you or any of your family members have a serious medical condition or you lose your job, you can't dig into your NPS kitty because it is out of reach till you turn 60. This mandatory lock-in is viewed as a big demerit by many, as people also view their retirement funds as a cushion for unforeseen situations. Now, to address this challenge, the regulator is looking to introduce a lower minimum lock-in period of 15 years. Suppose a subscriber starts investing at 30, so he will be able to withdraw 60% of the money at 45 and the rest in annuities. Now, this proposed change could mean investors getting access to their funds earlier, though the exact conditions on limit etc. are yet to be announced by the PFRDA. The pension regulator has not only proposed to change the minimum investment tenure, but also plans to tweak the maximum time you can stay in NPS. Next, let's talk about that. Under the current rules, a subscriber can be part of NPS until 75 years. The regulator has proposed to increase this limit by 10 years. If this proposal is approved, one can stay invested in the NPS till the age of 85. Now, staying in NPS can help subscribers plan their retirement more effectively. You can let the corpus grow tax deferred, avoid selling in bad markets, wait for better annuity rates, and tailor your equity to debt allocation based on your lifespan and spending needs. This seemingly small change can have a significant impact on retirement corpus because it allows your money to compound for longer, especially if you opt for systematic withdrawal. Suppose you retire at 60 with 1 crore left in NPS after purchasing an annuity with 67 lakh. Let's say your annuity gives you around 36,000 pension each month. Now, let's talk about the withdrawal and returns of 1 crore if you stay with the NPS. As you have a pension, you decide to withdraw only 30,000 rupees per month from NPS for the first year. Of course, there will be inflation. So every year you will need to withdraw more money to keep up with the average inflation of 6% we've seen in India. So at 85, you will still have 1.7 crore in NPS even if you're increasing your withdrawals by 6% every year, starting with just 3.6 lakh in the first year. So these were some of the most important proposals. Apart from these, PFRDA has also suggested a few other changes, such as allowing small savers to withdraw their entire corpus, and it proposes to fine-tune many processes that are currently time-consuming or operationally challenging. Together, these tweaks could give subscribers more flexibility in how they use their NPS money. The regulator is also exploring the possibility of broadening pension fund investment avenues beyond debt, equity, and alternate investment funds. According to media reports, PFRDA is evaluating if commodities like gold and silver could also become asset classes under NPS. NPS has come a long way since it opened up to all citizens in 2009. The pension regulator has worked on it to make it better every year. It has made over 40 changes in the past 6 years, and these don't include the current ones we have discussed in this video. We even have a video outlining the previous changes. You can get the link in the description box. We are confident that this retirement product will continue to evolve just like it has over the past 16 years. So if you aren't a subscriber yet, it may be a time to consider NPS, and you can invest in it on the ET Money app in just a few taps. And that's all I had for you today. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please share it with your friends and family. I'll be back soon with another video. Till then, take care.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.